Hey Lance, welcome to the Profit and Grit Show. How's it going?
Great. How you doing?
Good. I'm really excited to
Good.
be
I
talking with
appreciate you
you.
having me. Big fan of you. Like what you're doing. So thank you for having me, my friend.
Okay, well, I'm a big fan of yours, and I followed you for quite a while, so I appreciate you even taking the time to be here. Hey, where I'd love to start out is just learn a little bit about you. Could we talk first? Like, what are you doing these days? I know you sold a company. Now you have a company that's helping other companies grow. Can we start there and just talk about what do you do day to day?
So what I do day to day is I sold six different companies now. Actually seven if you include my Allstate, which I should probably put that in there. I forgot I even sold that. But what I saw when I was growing these companies is the problem is most operators, what my company does now is we help operators grow their businesses, scale them, make them profitable, and then we sell them to private equity firms. I always say we're an incubator, you could call us. We're the miners that we sell to the majors, whatever you want to call it. I've done it now multiple times. I just saw a problem, right? A constant problem where all of these fake fucking gurus, I don't know if I can curse now, so I'm sorry, all these fake gurus just going out there doing all the wrong things. And I just kind of got heated one day and I was like, you know what? Like, this is it. We're going to go help contractors across the country and all businesses, right? Because I've sold digital agency, IT, and we're just going to help businesses scale and grow their business and become profitable. Every business is the same, change out the widget, and that's all we do. So that's why I always tell people I have nothing to sell anyone. Like, yeah, you can join my coaching group. My coaching group is my smallest business. It's a passion project of mine. I'm involved heavily with it. I love helping people. That's one thing. But really, where at the core of our business is at LB Capital is we partner with people and we are in the trenches with them every single day building their businesses.
When you partner, do you have a certain niche or area that you most prefer to partner with? And just to help me to understand, when you say operator, we're definitely talking about Joe or Jane business owner, right?
Joe Jane business owner, they're going to be doing somewhere between two to $7, $8 million, somewhere in that ballpark. And we're going to partner with you and we're going to take 50% of the company and we're going to take operational control and we're going to put all the systems, processes, sales people in place. Service titan is a requirement of ours across any of my companies. Just that's our technology of choice. And we just make it crystal clear. It's speed to growth, speed to growth, speed to profit, speed to success, speed to fail. Like I'm not afraid to fail. Just I'm not. So like we're going to speed everything that doesn't work in your organization and the thing about this is we failed so much, we're not going to make the same mistakes over and over again. So we have almost things that we roll outside of an organization is about 95%, 98% success just because we've done it now. We have a playbook and we implement our playbook and we have a lot of high growth very fast. So that's the difference. We're operators. We understand it. Not a private equity firm. People think I am. It's all my own money, my own capital. I have no investors in any of my organizations, none whatsoever.
And what about in terms of like niche? Are you or area of expertise? Are you looking for any certain types of companies that make for a better candidate that you can help?
We don't, majority of my companies are technology, roofing and technology right now, but I've
Okay.
been in HVAC, painting, IT, and digital marketing. So no, nothing's off the board for me. I buy people, not companies.
Mm,
So like right now, like my name's really hot in the roofing industry and home
right.
services, and people are like, look what this guy's doing. But like, that's not true. I'll go with a painting company, an HVAC company, a fence company. It had to be the right partner though, right? Yeah, I think about this. Like, business partners are more important than your wife. But people don't understand that like your wife is your wife. Like if you get divorced, it's just real simple. You go to the courts. It's a business. It's brutal. It's nasty. There's 101 ways it can go. I'm not making light of a divorce by any means.
Right. Right.
But if
Right.
you
Right.
ask me, and listen, I love my wife, so I'm just giving you a hypothetical here, right?
Sure. I got you.
If I had to go through a divorce or a bad business breakup, I'd rather go through the divorce because the divorce is just going to be outlined. You got to take care of the mother of your children. You got to pay for her for the rest of her life. You're going to have to take care of your children. So, like, it's real simple, right? You're going to have to take care of the mother of your kids, right? So, you might as well just bend the knee and I'm going to take care of you. Business partners, you're probably not going to take care of them when you break up because they're going to get their own business. You're going to be right by them. But so we buy people. I'm fortunate. I've never had a bad breakup ever. Very fortunate. Very fortunate. Only had one guy sue me. I gave him $1 million. And I tell people this all the time. Make sure you know who works for you. We gave him $1 million, and he won another 300,000. And I didn't pay him. I didn't pay him. I took it all the way, and I won. But like you know, just not a good person. Just not a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
human
Yeah.
being.
Yeah.
And he's right back to being a small little organization. barely getting by. And I tell people, like, the proof's in the pudding. Look at him, look at me. I got nothing bad to say about him. I wish him nothing but the best. But, you know, people,
Wh-
when they
I,
see you have money, they want more.
yeah. What do you see in, and let's stick around home services. It can be roofing, it can be HVAC, but I know most of my audience is that, so I think it'll resonate for them a little better. What do you see most someone that you're going to partner with when they're even considering that? What are the stumbling blocks they're facing? So when you say, I think you said 2 to 7 million is kind of your range. What are some common stumbling blocks that they're hitting?
It's the same. It's the same across every business.
Yeah.
Sales, marketing, leadership, systems, processes, technology. It's the same. Listen, you can't show me a business that's not their challenges. I'd say bullshit. If they weren't their challenges, they'd be doing 300 million like Tommy Mel, and he still has the challenges. Like, oh,
Right.
he's my buddy, right? Like,
Right.
but people, it's so simple. Listen, businesses are run off of the same thing. And people, my biggest thing is people overcomplicate it. They can't get out of their own way and they want to use their business. They want to pay their wife's car through the business. They want to pay their kids' school through the business. They want to do all this nonsense. You got to put every nickel back into the business and starve and live very dirt poor. And that business is going to grow as long as you're doing marketing, sales, install correctly and collecting, right? You have the sale tape, the bill tape, and the collected tape. So I just say, you got to sell as much as you can. You got to run the install, whatever it is at home services, and you got to collect as fast as possible. And you got to get your systems dialed in, marketing dialed in, leadership dialed in. It's really not that complicated. People overcomplicate it. And I thank God I was never really into trades. I worked with my brothers, taking off roofs and doing concrete work and carrying bricks. I'm so appreciative because they took care of me, my brothers, before they passed away. So I know how hard these people work, but it's really not that overcomplicated to scale and grow these businesses. If the leader wants to scale it, it's very easy to. Now, I will say leaders, a lot of them don't know how to, so that's where we come into play. But if that leader wants to sacrifice and suffer, success is going to be there. They're going to find it. It's impossible not to.
And that's where I would like to start is leadership. So just going back to kind of some you personally in terms of your own leadership evolution is I believe, you might have described yourself in the past as maybe like a screamer type leader or kind of savage in your style. And you've changed through that. Could you kind of take me through like what you learned about leadership, how you changed your own style? I mean, I personally just a little side note, I had my own challenges early on as a leader where I was just an absolute ass. People hated me. And then I realized one day through a mentor that, hey, you care about your clients. Why don't you care about people that are working under you in the same way? And that was an epiphany for me. That's what changed me. So what caused your evolution and how did that work?
You know, it's funny. I was vice president of AT&T and I treated people like shit. I really did. Even the beginning of One SEO, man, if I could just apologize to so many people the way I screamed at them and talked to them. And there's no excuse, right? Like you sign up to be a firefighter when you're a leader. You sign up for the stress or don't sign up, right? You sign up for people making mistakes. You sign up for all these things. And listen, I'm still not perfect,
Sure.
I'll give you an example. Neary's right here. Like something happened at the conference and I got mad at him and I snapped. But immediately I went and found him and hugged him and I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Where that would have never happened 10 years ago. Like
Right.
I knew I was wrong. I was right in what I was saying, but I
Sure.
was wrong in the message. Right. And you gotta think about this. These people are killing themselves for you. These people work day and night, the majority of people. And I have sons. I don't want someone treating my son. Listen, it was funny. I was at a wrestling tournament on Sunday and I wasn't there. And some guy told my son, shut the fuck up, right? And this guy, Tony Watson, got in a huge fight with him. And I just walked into the room and I was just going to the bathroom, like, yo, what happened here? And the one guy running the tournament was like, yo, that guy just told your son, shut the F up. I just walked up to the guy nicely. I'm like, you got to apologize. You don't talk to people that way, let alone a kid. At no point in time do you ever talk. I said, what did he say? He screamed my son was stalling. I said, well, okay. You could, like, that doesn't warrant that. And he went to say something else. I said, Lacey told him, I said, you have two options, man. You can apologize immediately, or we're gonna have a problem here. You ain't gonna like the problem, right? Like, and I wasn't saying it rudely. It was
Sure.
just like we're both fathers, and I think sometimes I'm a father. And listen, when you're the best version of yourself, your team will be the best version of them. And when
Yeah.
you're being a terrible, and listen, I made all the mistakes. I fired people on the spot. I humiliated people. Listen, you name it, I've done it. It
Mhm.
gets you nowhere. It actually cripples and hurts the team. And people that operate out of fear will never build anything
Right.
great. I built one SEO and it took me about 15 years. What I managed to do at LB Capital in less than 3 years, we're literally almost 6 times the size
Wow.
of one SEO.
Wow.
And people are like, well, that's just because you learned so much. Well, the biggest thing I learned was to be a better leader, to be a more sincere person, to take care of the people that take care of you. I mean, my people are all getting their Christmas bonus this Friday. We send it out Monday already. Makes sense? Letting them know. Like I want to give you everything now. Like you guys, like everyone that's ever worked for me, I can only thank them that you worked with me. I had the honor, and my life is the way it is. Like I have a great life. So listen, I'm not perfect. I'm a work in
Sure.
progress. If I can tell anyone listening to this, you want to be kind, you want to be sincere. Um, I always say to people, there's a difference between a nice man and a good man. I'm not a nice man. I'm a good man. And there's a difference. A nice man is like the court jester, the clown.
Yeah.
They're going to be nice no matter what. A good man is always going to take care of people, treat people good, be nice, up until the point where you come into their territory and you want to step to them and you want to trespass boundaries. And that nice man flips the switch and says, no, I'm not so nice.
Yeah.
So that's the difference
Hey,
between a nice man and a good man.
that my mentor that he used to always say to me, and it took like 20 times for it to sink in. He used to say, "It's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it." And
Of
that
course.
when you illustrated that scenario with that guy that said that to your kid, it wasn't really you were saying what needed to be said, but you were saying it in a nice way. You were
Yeah,
delivering
just
it, hey
smile,
man, just
nice.
human to human. Yeah, good stuff. Hey, what caused your transformation? Can we talk about that? I believe your wife had an ICU type event, and was that the catalyst, or what really caused you to one day wake up and go, "Hey, I want to value, or I want to be a leader in a different way."
I think what caused my transformation is a few things. I had sons,
Okay.
and I watched the way people talk to my sons. And if you can't interact with my children correctly, you'll not be in my life.
Okay.
I see, like if someone said to me, "I'm doing something," like, you'll see people blow your children off. What? Just watch, and you're like, "Damn, I definitely don't want to do business with you." Because if you blow a kid off, you're gonna blow anything else off. Because kids are the most important things. Most men have a soft spot for children.
Sure.
If you're any type of man at all, right? So like,
Sure.
it's just I'm very, very so that's one. I watched how people interact with my children. So now I always thought now like, well, these are people's children. Would I want someone talking to my sons like this? So that was one. My wife almost dying was definitely a big impact. And probably the third biggest thing is I changed my circle. I started hanging out with better people. I started watching the way they led. And I was like, man, like I gotta be more of a leader like that. I gotta be more of a leader like that. I gotta be more of a leader like that. And then when I started doing it, I started becoming more sincere and more genuine. And then I started liking this version of me, the man trying to make people have a great experience, the man trying to treat people good. You said you read all the experiences down and you want to be at the conference and you regret not going. I stood in the lunch line and shook every single person's
Wow.
hand that went there for an hour, shook, just sat there and thanked them for coming. I went at both dinners. At both dinners, I didn't eat dinner. Me and my wife, we walked to every single table and thanked everyone from coming
Wow.
because I had such gratitude in my heart. The old version of me would have been an arrogant, cocky. Look at me, I got 1,100 people down here in Marco Island to see me. Well, no, that's the wrong attitude. And if you have that attitude, all your leaders are going to have that attitude. So being that I have such a gratitude and abundance attitude, everyone on my team, you can meet my video people, and I say this to everyone, and the biggest mind shift you better have is nobody works for you. You work for all your people. These people have options. They can go anywhere. You work for a brand like mine. They're going to go anywhere in the country, have an immediate offer, and people are going to hire them. And I don't want my people leaving because they're my family. They work hard, and it's a lot of stress on them. So I want to try and alleviate as much stress as I can. I'm a very stressful guy to work for because we're constantly going 100 miles per hour.
What would you say to the typical blue collar owner that's out there who really hasn't had any type of formal leadership training? In fact, most of us haven't. What should they be doing in terms of improving their leadership skills, being more aware of how they're training their staff? Because what you just expressed, I see a lot, and I'm just curious what your thoughts are in terms of helping others maybe improve their own leadership style.
Listen, it costs you zero to be nice. So that's the easy one, right? And listen, flipping out, screaming out doesn't do any good. I can promise you that. I've done it. Listen, I'm trying to work on it with my children. I mean, Jesus Christ, as a father, your children are the hardest things to try and really get through. listen, there's masterminds out there. We offer masterminds, quarterly masterminds. And people are like, Lance, they're very spiritual. There's a lot. Well, that all goes hand in hand with leadership and understanding marketing, financial literacy, understanding sales and, systems and processes. You being a good person has to be first and foremost. If you're not a good person, doesn't matter if you learn all these core things in your business, no one's going to want to help you build your business. And you need people. You're in the people business. Like, we required, like I just said to you, we recruited an earnest young CPA. You were like,
That's
wow,
awesome.
holy shit, right? We got an in-house lawyer I recruited, right? Not to go to a big firm, to come with me. So like, if you don't treat people great, they're gonna leave,
Yeah.
And I always say this, look at someone's leadership team and see how long they're with them. That will tell you a lot. And my leadership team has been with me for years.
Yeah. You've mentioned the spiritual side a couple times. What does that mean? Like when you say spiritual, sometimes I think religion, sometimes I think just better well-being. How do you define that spiritual side that us as owners should really be thinking about?
Listen, for me, I'm Catholic. I believe in God. So, like, I'm not here to push religion on
Sure.
anyone. My wife isn't the biggest religious person. I'm very religious. She let me baptize all my children, thank God. Um, you know, I'm not a church goer every Sunday, right? I'm just not. But that's my own personal beliefs. I'm not going to get into why. I'll tell you why I don't go to church. The crime was bad, but the cover up was worse. So I don't go to church no more. And then when I went to get my last kid baptized, they told me because my one of my best friends, who's Russian Jew, he couldn't be the godfather. I was like, you guys are delusional. Like, I'm just looking for good people in my children's life, and you're worried about their faith to be the godfather. I never stepped into a church again except for
Wow.
funerals and weddings.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And I'm Catholic. So, like,
Yeah.
I tell people, God's not going to say I can't come in to heaven's gates because
Yeah.
because some idiot priest decided to say, well, Sam Zuntman can't be the godfather of your kid because he's a Russian Jew and he's one of the best men you'll ever meet. You know what? I'm going to stick with Sam over here and we're going to do this in my backyard.
Right.
And that's just how I felt, right, about their religion. And then obviously them covering up, touching boys and girls. I mean, it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
majority boys, but
Yeah, but
the
take me
crime
through
was
that
bad.
spiritual side. It is spiritual to you when you talk about as an owner touching into that spiritual side. Is it more of just like mental wellness, or is it a religious aspect, or what? Do you, how can I'm
I
just
mean, it's
wondering if there's
both. I
something.
mean,
Yeah. Okay.
I sauna every single day. I ice bath every day. Your mind has to be right. I mean, I think
Wow.
it all plays a part. I think there's checks and balances, right? Like I'm not. I don't want to tell people how they should live their life. I can only tell you how I live my life. I have
Sure.
God in my life. I make sure my mental clarity is there, so my vision's funneled and focused. I ice bath every single morning. Listen, it's freezing here. I got outside this morning. The ice was on the ground after I got out right away. I started slipped on ice. I started laughing, but I just did it right. Sauna. I sauna every single morning. I try to get 30 minutes of working out every single morning. I think all that goes into building a good business. I don't believe that those things are right, that you can go in and build a business. That's just me.
Got it. Okay. And in terms of, I just kind of want to go down this leadership path. Last question here. When you do the operator role where an operator comes in, you guys do the 50-50 thing. Does that owner, do you help them continue to evolve as a leader? Do they just stand back?
Oh yeah.
What does that look like from an owner
No,
standpoint?
listen, we just had all of our owners down in one of our masterminds in Marco
Okay.
Island in the Winter Circle, and we had them working on building out the budgets for 2026. We had the budgets done for all of our companies a month and a half ago, but
Sure.
we made them do the exercise so they learn. We made them do the P&Ls review because you got to remember there's life after we exit. I'm going to continue to build companies, and you're probably going to say, I want to go out on my own without Lance Bachman again. And that's fine. I want you to. That's my job to have you ready. I tell this all the time to everyone that works with me every single day. It would make me smile with nothing but gratitude the day you resign if you tell me you're starting your own business. It will make me sad, and I know I failed you if you left me for another job.
Yeah. That's good. That's powerful. What do you see as a company morphs into like an eight-figure company? So they break that $10 million mark. A lot of companies under that I've seen, they're often relying like on a Google AdWords. They're relying on LSA, local service ads. What changes in your mind to get, because I've read about you, I've done so much research on you now. Your mind is like, hey, I'm going to take you to 40 million. What needs to be crossed once you get over that 10 million to think differently? Like Google Ads probably isn't going to cut it.
Well, I think number one, your mind shift has to change.
Okay.
right? Like when someone says to me, "Oh, I built a $10 million home service based business," and they walk around like, "Oh, that's like what the fuck are we doing here?" Like that's like I've done that multiple times in less than a year, right? Like let's just be honest. I'm taking companies to 20 some million in my first year with them, like
Wow.
from nothing, right? So like let's have perspective, right? Let's have perspective. Um, I think your mind shift has to change. I think you got to understand you need a blended marketing campaign, meaning like I'm a big aggregator fan. I love Angie's. I love networks. I Google PPC is probably last on my list. I like SEO. I like Google GMB. I like LSAs. I like social media. I like email marketing. I like billboards. Google PPC is probably last on my list.
Wow.
And when
Where
you
does
look at most
branding fit
people's
in? Where does just like organic branding, would you
branding's
say, fits?
huge. Branding's
Okay.
huge. Like you are the brand now. Like I tell people this, I am the brand. And then for LB Capital, like I am the brand. Like, and then every one of these small organizations, we have people that are branded putting social media content out, constantly putting out locally. Like someone has to be the brand of your company. And when someone says, "Oh, I don't want to," I apologize. When someone says, "I don't want to be the brand and I don't want to post on social media," I go look at their social. Hold on one second. So I go
Yeah,
look at
take
their social media and I'll see, yeah, you don't post anything about work, but your shoe will give you your comments on fucking Republicans and Democrats. So that's more important to you than posting about what you do because you're so tied up in nonsense that makes you no money, has no value to your business. So I'm a big believer in brand and marketing, and you better have a good brand and it better make sense. And if you can get a good brand and you actually fulfill what that brand says, you're going to see your company grow. I mean,
yeah.
it's really that simple, but marketing is the easy part for most people. They just refuse to dive into it and understand it.
Yeah. So Lance, one thing I see is a lot of companies that come my way are using Service Titan, and they're, the owner's sitting there playing with the price book. They're kind of stuck in Service Titan. Sometimes they're utilizing it to a very, they may have the integration with it going to QuickBooks. If they do have the integration, it's going in wrong. Just all these different things. What are your thoughts around that? And what do you see? Because you started the show saying, hey, you really advocate your companies you work with being on Service Titan, or I think you require it. You didn't say advocate, you require it. Where does
Yeah.
this all fit in terms of what we should be thinking about if we're on any software, let alone Service Titan?
Well, I think you got to pick the software that's right for you. I just advocate and a big fan of Service Titan because of what it's done for me. It's changed my family's trajectory and generational wealth, right? In home services. So it's done it for me. I'm not the brightest guy in the world, like I tell people. So monkey see, monkey do. Um, I think, the challenge that a lot of people have is adaptation to any technology. And I think technology is frustrating. I had the same challenges when I onboarded on the Service Titan. And that's how I wind up acquiring Titan Pro. And they had about 3 employees at the time. We now have about 60 employees. I think we're Service Titan's number one Titan consultant. And I just saw a problem in the marketplace and a lot of friction among great contractors that own their businesses and a great organization and the middle, right? Just building out the price books correctly, marketing pro, other pro products. And I just said, okay, we're going to build this out and we're going to be the Tylenol or Advil, whatever you want to call it, for these contractors. And it's been great and the business has been growing. Um, I believe that the average, um, you know, people hire attorneys because you're not an attorney. You don't just sit there on Chat GPT all day. People hire accountants, same thing. I'm a big believer in hiring the best at what they do and let them do that and you operate your business. Every time you are diving into things that you're not an expert on, you're costing yourself a lot more money. I call it be working on the dials that you're the expert in and watch your business grow, right? You have to work on the dials that you're the expert in and bring people in for the dials that are going to make your business grow because they're going to do it that much faster,
Right.
right? So, big Service Titan fan. I believe in Service Titan, but that's what made us buy Titan Pro and grow that company.
Yeah. One of the quotes I believe you said is you said, you buy a Ferrari, but you drive it like a golf cart. I believe I've heard you say that. I don't know if you remember. You probably had so many quotes, but I chuckled when I read that because that's what I see a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize, Service Titan used correctly will spitfire your business. And it is the number one contractor's CRM, right? It's
Yeah.
just their
Yeah.
best technology out there. And I'm not saying the other ones are bad, right?
Sure.
It's a matter of what you feel comfortable with. But
Right.
I just believe Service Titan's the best for me and my needs.
Yeah. Hey, very last thing here. Um, if a company's stuck at 5 million and they're coming kind of into your ecosystem and the goal is to get them to 20 million, what's a timeline like that look like for you? Like when you're
18, 36 months. 18,
really,
36 months.
wow,
Yeah, that
wow,
easy.
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's a
that easy.
short, relatively speaking, that's a short timeline.
It's
Yes.
it's listen, I tell people this all the time. Timelines, you make your timelines based on what other people think. I don't make my timelines on what other people think. I've done it now multiple times. Months we went to 20 some million in our first year. Planet Roof, we did 17 million. We're going to finish at 19 our first year. Pups, 13, 14 million our first year. I have no tolerance for, we're not building a house. If you gave a contractor 3 years to build a house, he would do it all, take all 3 years. If you give him 12 months, have it done in 12 months. Business is the same way. Build your business as fast as you want.
Good stuff. If you had to say three things that a business owner should work on today, short, these don't have to be long. What would you say the three things someone should focus on today, just to have a better business?
Sales, financial literacy, marketing. They'd be my biggest three things, assuming that you have some type of leadership to you. So
Okay.
sales, marketing, financial literacy. You need those three things to operate a business.
Okay, good stuff. And in terms of sales, when you, in your mind, if someone, I guess it's going to vary by business, but is that like more getting out there and calling people? Is that hiring a salesperson? Is that what would you do you see
I-
some common
You're, you're
trend?
you're the you're the sales guy. I'm constantly selling my team on our goals, what to do,
Got
hiring new
it.
people, recruiting people. You better be good at sharing your vision and your goals to what people are. I'm constantly selling. What's funny is no one thinks I'm a sales guy, and I was the number one salesperson at Verizon for years, and people think I'm full of shit. I'm like, all right, man. Like, you don't build everything I built, and I'm not a hard seller. I'm a relationship seller. I'm a show you the vision and those type of things seller. But yeah, I mean, like you got to be able to recruit people, talk to people, get people to buy into your vision and goals. So you got to understand sales, marketing, and you got to understand financial literacy.
And I love that you say financial literacy. It's funny. I went through a course about 5 years ago, and they were preaching on the course. Oh, you don't really want to get clients into any type of financial literacy. They'll glaze over. They won't understand it. And I have such a passionate disagreement with that. Like I literally with my clients, I'll take them through a balance sheet and a P&L and just talk on a layman's level. I don't need to sound all super smart, but it's empowering when they can kind of go, when you point at a number and you go, do you really have a negative $500,000 in your bank? And they're all, no, I don't. It's my bookkeeper's mistake or whatever. It's empowering. They suddenly understand
I'm
like where
going
the
to tell
numbers
you
are
why
coming from.
most accountants don't want their people to have financial
Yeah,
literacy. You want to know
why?
why?
Yeah,
Because most accountants are shit bags. They want to take the easiest way to get it's the truth. They are. They want to take the easiest way to get things done. They don't want to put no extra in for tax planning, tax
yeah,
saving. They
yeah,
don't do no extra work. They just want to go through the process and they want to be the smartest person in the room. As
yeah.
soon as you have financial literacy, you're going to have true freedom to
Hmm.
anything you want to do because you
Yeah,
can see how much money you're making, where you're losing your money. You can go address the problems inside your business. And I'm not being rude to accountants out there. I've yet to have any accountant. I've been with my accountant now, one for 10 years. Well, I mean, there's a reason why I brought a CPA into my business
yeah,
now, right?
yeah,
Because nobody's proactive, they're reactive. And they got thousands of clients, hundreds of clients, right? And that's why I always say this, like, if you're going to have a fractional CFO like you, right? I believe that's what you do, correct?
yeah. That's correct. Yeah,
You better, my thing with you, if you were to work with me and my companies and my clients, I'd say, okay, what's your bandwidth? How many clients are you having? If you said, listen, I got 100 clients as a fractional CFO, I'd be very scared. If you said, hey, listen, I
sure,
got 40, okay, I believe that. That's
sure.
easy, right? Because, but if you said 100, it's just you. How could
Yeah,
you manage 100 different P&Ls, tax
yep,
planning, balance sheets, right? Getting through quality of earnings, right? I mean, it's just not realistic. So, um, I just like that. That's why I've trained myself into financial literacy. And I don't say I'm a CPA by any means,
no, you
but
don't
I
need
can
to
tell
be.
you this.
Yeah,
I don't need to be, but I can read a balance sheet. I can read a
right,
P&L better than
right.
90% of people very fast. I can find you problems inside your P&L very fast. I understand GLs integrating with QuickBooks and Service Titan very well. I understand Intact. I understand Sage. I understand NetSuite. Like I know what's out there. I become a master in financial literacy, and that's why I have freedom.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I love you're such a supporter of that. Hey, okay, I want to wrap up here. I know you got another thing at top of the hour. Just your websites. lbachmancapital.com is your main website. And then, of course, I'll put your LinkedIn link in the show notes. Is there anywhere else if people wanted to reach out to you that you'd want them to go?
You can call my cell phone, 215-796-4393. Just shoot me a text, 215-796-4393. It's the fastest way to get a hold of me, and I'll get back to you.
Okay, awesome. Lance, you're amazing. I appreciate you spending this time with me. I can't wait. December of next year, it's my number one goal, or one of my number one goals this year or next year, is to go to your conference next year.
We appreciate having you there. Thank you, brother.
Welcome to Profit and Grit. It's profit and grit, not luck and a wish. From the wrench to the spreadsheet, we're stacking our chips. Slow season hits, man, we tighten the ship. It's the blue collar way, we build, not dip.